Jordan Grinnell.
And I'm Najee Moye, and this is Argo News.
How can students at the University of West Florida find organizations that fit their interests and get involved on campus? Argo News reporter Christopher Thrasher has a story that will help us answer these questions.
Student Involvement hosts an activity called Blizzard Bash every January.
Blizzard Bash is an annual student involvement fair. It's affiliated with the basketball game, so athletics is hosting a whiteout game for the men's game, which takes place right after Blizzard Bash. And so it's just another opportunity here at the beginning of the semester for students who are looking for an opportunity to get involved, to come out and meet some of the different student organizations. Usually we have around 60 student organizations and departments represented. And we also provide free food. The event's pretty casual, pretty informal. Sometimes the student orgs will set up different things for people to interact with. Student organizations are all eligible to participate in Blizzard Bash. Departments and departmental organizations as well are welcome to reserve a table. And you know, over the years we see a lot of different things at the tables. Some folks will put out their trophies, sign-up sheets, be handing out flyers about upcoming events or about their organizations. I hope that the students who come there looking to get involved find something. I hope that they connect with somebody or connect with an organization that they might want to become involved with. Aside from that, one of the great benefits of the event that we hear is for the people who are involved and the leaders of those organizations to get to know each other. We really like, and we hear that students like, the collegiality of it, the opportunity for them to see other students and other student leaders and talk with each other about events they have. I work with the Campus Activity Board, and they say that they get a lot of interest from other student organizations when they talk to them about Cab After Dark or they talk to them about other upcoming events. And so that opportunity just to network with other campus leaders is something that we hear time and time again that students enjoy from this event.
Members of the campus community are working diligently to make sure that students have opportunities to get involved on campus. I'm Christopher Thrasher, reporting for Argo News.
Speaking of student involvement, have you ever wanted to try a new sport? Argo News reporter Jenna Lamy has more.
Sports. It may not be for everyone, but why not try a sport that's been around for 4,000 years?
Handball is probably considered the oldest ball sport in existence. There is evidence back in ancient Egypt of pictures in the pyramids, people playing handball. I've started out with the role as the president of the club, and then now that the club's pretty well established, I've taken more of a coaching role because a lot of the players are relatively new compared to me, a year of experience or less. So it's kind of mentoring them and teaching them the game. And we go to events. We host a monthly big ball event. Big ball is basically like a racquetball here in the gym or out at the three-wall courts to help promote the club and then get people involved. And it's free to come play. We have pizza and drinks ready to come out. So if you want to come on out and play. We go to tournaments throughout the year. I think last year we went to about 8. The biggest one we have coming up is the Collegiate Nationals, which I'm very excited about because last year we brought 3 and we came in second place in D2 in the team title. And this year we're bringing 13 team members. Everybody's welcome to come out and play. We don't discriminate, any skill level. You could have never played any sport in your entire life and you're welcome to come out. We've got gloves you can borrow, goggles you can borrow. We've got people of all experience levels, so you have someone to compete with. We've practiced here at the university in the rec center gym from our Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, Sunday, 5 to 7. It's every week, unless we go to a tournament and something comes up that way. But yeah, everybody's welcome. There's no sign up, so everyone's more than welcome to come out and play handball. So.
Do you have motivation to learn handball coordination? If you do, come join UWF's handball team. I'm Jenna Lamy, reporting for Argo News.
Traveling on your bucket list, Argo News reporter Shannon Hemmings has more on the story.
Are you ready to leave the country and explore the world?
Any chance I get to go study abroad or go on a trip abroad, I always take. So whenever he told us we were going to Greece, I definitely jumped on it. And even though it made me go broke, I definitely wanted to be a part of it because it was just a great experience. All the literature that you read throughout elementary school and especially in the great books class, the Core 1 class, it's real. And when you're there, you just kind of see how big those structures were and how hard those people worked, and you kind of get a taste of history. It's different from just reading it to actually being there. A lot of people think that if they go study abroad, they can't take classes or it's going to conflict, but there's opportunities out there for if you want to go a long time or a short time. But definitely, I would say for anybody, everyone should study abroad at some point.
I studied abroad in Wakayama, Japan, and I was just wanting to learn more about Japanese culture and language, which is why I applied to the program. From this experience, I made one friend, Ryota, and hung out with him a lot, taught him a lot about skateboarding and pop culture in America and Japan, and a lot about music. He loves music. Took me out to karaoke a few times and sung his heart out to Screamo Death Rock. That was funny. The best reason to study abroad and why I think it's really important is it broadens your horizons and gives you different views on things. Being from Pensacola, I know that a lot of people in Pensacola have never even seen the beach, never gone to see Pensacola Beach. So knowing that and knowing that everything revolves around Pensacola from being here, going to a different place, whether it be Alabama or Japan, you finally see more. You see more of the world. You get to understand different viewpoints and different cultures. You get to see more of how things work, and it just really enlightens you and makes you understand how things work in the world.
If you're ready to get out of America and travel the world, studying abroad just might be for you. I'm Shannon Hemmings, reporting for Argo News.
I don't know about you, Najee, but I'm definitely checking that out.
With the new year underway, you may be looking for a new workout program. UWF Gym may be just what you're looking for.
The New Year, New You program was implemented in the group fitness department so that we can inspire people to participate in all different types of group fitness classes during the first 2 weeks of school. Since everyone's going to get back in the swing of things, I made it a 2-week program, so it allowed people to get into a routine. And so what the participants did was they had a card that we provided them, and they went to any group fitness classes they wanted to, and if they went to 5 group fitness classes in those 2 weeks allotted, they received a prize. So it's kind of like an incentive program, and also allows them an opportunity to figure out what group fitness classes they are. Now, the program doesn't require them to go to a certain group fitness class. It requires them to go to any group fitness class. Group fitness classes don't require any prior sign-up sheets. So if you happen to be in the gym and you notice that a group fitness class is running, you could just run downstairs and join that gym. Join the class. To be involved in a program, all you have to do is simply ask. All instructors are trained to, announce who they are, announce what class they're taking, and talk about the programs that are going on in our facilities that month. And through that, the instructors and participants should all have equal ability to participate in those programs. No one's ever excluded. All instructors also modify and offer variations throughout their class to work with the novice and also work with the advanced. So everyone should feel welcome to participate in any of those. I think our facility is a great facility, run by great people who care about it, and the participants and patrons who come to it are great people as well.
UWF's gym offers a variety of classes. Maybe there's one for you. This is Joanne Broxton reporting for Argo News.
So maybe working out isn't your thing. What about writing? We're going to Argo News reporter Najee Moy to find out more.
Have you ever thought about being part of the campus newspaper, The Voyager?
A editorially independent student newspaper, what that means is that the students are the editors. They make the decisions about what goes in the paper, they assign stories to reporters, and they design and lay out the pages, send it to the printer, distribute it, etc. So that means it is not, when we say editorially independent, it's part of the university, but the professors, the department chair, the administration can't dictate what goes in it or say, no, you can't write about that or you can't write about that. The advantage to a student newspaper is that it is very localized. This is news and information that's happening on campus or that's particularly relevant to students. So you certainly can't get that from CNN or any of the other national news outlets. The Voyager is meant primarily for students. Also takes into consideration that faculty and staff read it, but primarily for students. So it's things that students would be interested in, and if they're not interested in what's in the Voyager, they have the opportunity to get involved and let them know what they would like to see. The purpose of a newspaper, particularly a student newspaper, a campus newspaper, is that it's a public forum. It should be a place where issues of campus interest are discussed on the editorial pages and the opinion pages, and it should be a place where student activities and concerns are reported on. So if they pick it up and say this is, well, if you are, I would recommend getting involved early on. If you are either not a journalism major, or if you are a journalism major but you haven't gotten to those courses yet that get you started in it, to contact the editors.
If you're interested in joining the Voyager as a writer, contact John Stevenson at editors@voyagers.net. I'm Najee Moye, reporting for Argo News. Remember when the teacher would always tell you to put your phone away in class? Well, change is coming, and Argo News reporter Daniel Lynham has more on the story.
Could one of America's oldest institutions be ready to face a new innovation?
This year, Mr. Sherrill actually made a reversal of that classic trend and told us that we were allowed to use cell phones in the classroom personally and allow students to use them if it was class related. And he gave several examples. You could have a research paper where students are looking things up as you speak. You could have students, checking out YouTube videos for things that were relevant to what you were talking about. You could encourage them to, take a photograph of an assignment on the board. So I decided, what? It's the 21st century. Let's act like it.
We do all our notes on the smart board. We do examples. It's useful in bringing up pictures. It's useful and I have 2 geometry classes, so we draw a lot of shapes. So sometimes it helps to use the smart board feature to draw the shape. That way it's not done by hand. It doesn't look as bad. Graphing is really big, especially in geometry, because we tell the kids whenever you graph something by hand, it's not as accurate because you're doing it by hand, but with the smart board I can at least get the axes straight. When I get my 2 points, I can connect them with a line that's straight, so it's a bit easier for the students to see.
And the thing is that a lot of people, instead of using technology as an opportunity to change that paradigm, they just allow it to sort of supplement and verify the paradigm. And what I mean by that is that if a classroom, for instance, gets a class set of iPads, because of a grant or a district bonus or something, that it's still a teacher teaching and students studiously taking notes, but now it's just supplemented by the iPad, rather than using the iPad as a way to radically alter the formula.
With the use of smart boards and iPads, the education system is slowly embracing technology in the classroom. This has been Daniel Lynham reporting for Argo News.
On February 8th, the Florida Public Archaeology Network hosted a guided tour of archaeological sites in Gulf Breeze. Reporter James Miles brings us a preview of what the tour has to offer.
Have you ever wondered who was here before you? Here at the Florida Public Archaeology Network's Coordinating Center is where you can find out.
So our organization, the Florida Public Archaeology Network, our mission is to promote the preservation, protection, and public appreciation of Florida's archaeological resources. So every program that we do, we are built into that mission. The hiking tour that we're having at the Naval Live Oaks area in Gulf Breeze, it's going to focus on the Native American use of that area. Archaeologically wise, it's significant is because there's so many different types of sites there. And there was such a long occupation of that area, dating back to over 4,000 years ago. The prehistoric people that lived in this area, we don't really have a name for them. Archaeologists give them names. We call them Pensacola culture or Fort Walton culture, but that's just the name that archaeologists have given to a specific group that has lived in the area. The archaeologists there will be able to talk about kind of archaeology in general, different ways archaeology is practiced. And another important aspect is to talk about the preservation and protection of archaeological sites. But the ranger will be there to talk about not only the history of the park, because he knows it so well, but also the Native American use of plants and animals and other natural resources that are still in the park to this very day.
Interested in one of FPAN's guided archaeology tours? Here's some information about what to do if you find an artifact. I'm James Miles reporting for Argo News.
Recently, there have been local independent pharmacies shutting down, but the Jackson Pace Pharmacy is standing their ground. Argo News reporter Jordan Gornell brings us more information.
With big companies like Walgreens and CVS, owning your own independent pharmacy can be difficult.
I know probably 90% of the people who walk in the door. We greet everyone. We even answer our own telephone. You don't have to talk to a machine to leave messages. It feels wonderful. I was here way before any of those people were here, so it's what I always wanted to do. There's always a risk. I mean, this is a business. There's a risk with everything, so you just stay on your guard. You know, as long as you watch the numbers, and if you see trends one way or the other, you just be ready to react. Actually, the biggest tool we've used to increase our business this is our 23rd year here has been word of mouth. We make a family or a small organization or a hospice, whatever group we're working with, we make them happy, then they spread the news. So that's really been our most effective way. There's a lot of folks out there that need somebody to talk to, and in healthcare, you don't always get that. You don't get to have that much time with your doctors. A lot of doctors will have nurse practitioners or PAs that will work, that see you. You go through a whole triage function every time you go into a doctor's office, and if you've got something that really concerns you, we have a way of sort of bringing it down to earth, making it easy for you to understand. I bought it from a gentleman who bought it from another gentleman with our independent roots going back to the 50s. This particular company has been out here on this corner since 1981. I bought it in 1992. So yeah, it's definitely a family business. I've got employees that have been with me as long as I've had the business. So it's it's not only a good place to shop, but it's also a good place to work.
Looks like Jackson Pace Pharmacy has been given the right dosage of personal hospitality. I'm Jordan Grinnell with Argo News.
2 weeks ago, the College of Business hosted a Women in Leadership. But how did this idea come about? Argo News reporter Savannah Taylor tell us more.
Some people may not have heard about UWF's College of Business Executive Mentor Program, but this program was a driving force behind this year's Women in Leadership Conference.
Well, the Executive Mentor Program is set up to primarily match students that are juniors and seniors and graduate students one-on-one with a business executive in the community. And they take an entire academic school year together. They meet once a month, sometimes more, and it's all about professional development and just that coaching and advice, having somebody to talk to and ask questions of. So in addition to that, we've also decided to put together some program enhancement activities and events where we bring in keynote speakers, and they tend to be on a variety of topics. This conference just tends to expand on that in that it's going to be a half-day session. What we really hope is that we can help develop women into strong, capable, confident leaders. We want the conference to be able to empower them. A lot of women already have the skills that they need, and they're looking for the networking and the confidence and the motivation, and we think that this conference can help with that. I think really what we're trying to do with both the conference and the Executive Mentor Program is really to help provide that support and encouragement and empowerment to the students, to really have them be confident and be going in the right direction as they graduate school and get their first jobs. And actually, we plan ahead. It's not just about getting that first job, but it's how you can succeed in your whole career.
If you miss this exciting opportunity, log on to uwf.edu/executive mentor to find out more about the program and what events they have coming up. I'm Savannah Taylor, reporting for Argo News.
And that's not the only event that's happening this week.
That's right. Every year, UWF hosts a Relay for Life event, which is one of the biggest and most popular events of the year. Participants raise money for an amazing cause, which having a lot of fun. Reporter Lauren Tenenbaum has more information about the event.
You might have heard of Relay for Life before, but do you know what it's really all about?
Relay for Life is an event put on to raise money for cancer research by walking laps and selling items. All the proceeds from Relay for Life go to cancer research, which is funded by the American Cancer Society. A luminaria is a bag with a candle in it that is lit up around the track. They're either in honor of a cancer survivor or in memory of someone who did not survive cancer. You can purchase a Luminaria bag through any Relay for Life event or online at the Relay for Life website. The Luminaria ceremony consists of speakers that are cancer survivors that come and talk about their experience with cancer, and it's followed by a lap that is in honor of or in memory of those that are affected by cancer. Something unique about the UWF Relay for Life is that it is mainly college students versus other relays that are mainly community-based. People should look forward to having a lot of fun. The theme for this year is Cancer Isn't Fair, so every booth will have different games, different items they're selling, different foods you can purchase that will have to do with the carnival fair kind of theme. Also, you have the chance to meet other people on campus and get involved in other on-campus organizations while raising money for the American Cancer Society. If you would like to make a team for Relay, you can contact the team recognition chair for the event or any other committee member. To support the cause, you can donate money to a team at your local Relay for Life, or you can go to the American Cancer Society website and find other ways in your community to support the cause.
If you or anyone you know is interested in participating in Relay for Life or would like to purchase a Luminaria, please contact Emily Raystrick at enr6@students.uwf.edu. I'm Lauren Tannenbaum, reporting for Argo News. If you're looking to have a good time with your friends on a Thursday night, reporter Rebecca Bartley can tell you more about College Night at Seville.
You don't have to be 21 to get into College Night at Seville Quarter.
When you go in, you have like, I guess, I don't know, I call it the countryside, you know. They're on the piano playing and you got people singing and line dancing. And that's the first bar you walk into. Then you go into the next room, which is kind of like a hallway, bathrooms and stuff. Then you got beer pong, then you got pool. You got a karaoke room, which is pretty awesome. I've done a couple songs. And then you walk to the back, which I call the hip hop side of the club, you know, where people like myself would go to dance and listen to, I guess, our generation's music. And then it's laid out, that one has like a dance floor at the bottom, and then upstairs it's like kind of like a balcony, bow. And it has a bar up there too, so it's pretty nice. I sang a karaoke song and got a round of applause, and that song was Royal, so thank you. I always meet new people. I'm outgoing, I like talking to people. But we like to stay in our group, pack it up. Early is key, or just take a taxi, because parking is gonna be hard. Let's see, definitely always have your friends, because you will get lost, and you will get separated. Oh, and never take a drink from a stranger, no matter how hot he is. It could be Denzel Washington, don't take this drink.
College Night at Seville Quarter happens every Thursday night here in downtown Pensacola. I'm Rebecca Bartley reporting for Argo News.
UWF's art department organized a bit of a history lesson by using pictures to tell a story. Reporter Sarah Richards stopped by the gallery to learn a few things about a type of art that has influenced the modern comic book and movie industry.
Are you familiar with Doc Savage? How about The Shadow? Well, if you enjoy Western tales and science fiction stories, you would have enjoyed the Modern Pulp exhibition that made a visit to the UWF campus.
The original idea for this exhibition started with Dr. David Earle from the English department approaching the former TAG gallery director, Amy Bowman. And when I took over the position about 1.5 years ago, I really liked the idea, so I started investigating possibilities and kind of trying to make it my own. The history of pulp magazines begins roughly around the 1890s, and it started when publishers would start to use wood pulp as a cheap paper source. At the time, the pulps really didn't rely on advertising, so to sell the publications, they needed these eye-catching covers. And from about the 1910s to the 1950s, this was one of the major forms of just, go to the newsstand, pick up a story, read it, and then unfortunately a lot of times these were discarded. So a lot of the material is kind of ephemeral and has been lost to time.
Quentin Tarantino's 1994 film Pulp Fiction paid tribute to the pulp magazine Black Mask. Pulp magazines are often called the progenitors of modern-day comic books, and superhero comics like Batman are sometimes called descendants of hero pulps.
What I think is important about pulp magazines is how they illustrate what was happening in the culture at the time, socially as well as in the art world. A lot of these covers and the artists that did these covers were forgotten, and so we wanted to bring to light this kind of forgotten medium, this forgotten art form.
Future UWF art exhibitions can be found at tag82uwf.wordpress.com. I'm Sarah Richards reporting for Argo News.
We've got a 2-for-1 in the art section for you guys today. Benefiting a Hero Foundation, Jeff Bond's Art Party is an event that cannot be missed. Seth Patterson has more on the upcoming story.
Looking for the most unique thing to do on the Emerald Coast? Check this event out.
I created Art Party back in '05 to represent the local artist. For this area, it's very conservative, and most of the stuff that you see is beachy, touristy type stuff, and it's people that create artwork to sell it. And there's so many people out there that create artwork just to create it. It's something that, it's their world, and they're putting it on canvas, or they're putting it on a sculpture, that kind of thing. And Pensacola, and most of the Gulf Coast, just seems to kind of just shun it away a little bit. I see people's artwork at their homes, and other artists out there creating things, and it's just not, it was amazing, but not getting into anything. So out of the frustration of not seeing really good artwork and being bored out of my mind in Pensacola, and with the galleries not really accepting it, I thought, well, I'll just do an art party. And at first it was just the creatives and buyers at my house, and it was a big party at the same time, and just kind of grew from there. So the big question on everybody's mind is, where's the location? I'm not going to tell you. You'll find out through our websites, artpartypensacola.com, 1 week prior to Art Party. This year, we're doing a whole new fundraising. Everything after our call. Hero, it's 100% volunteer. There's not a paid staff, so it's grassroots, and that's something I firmly believe in.
For the most unique event on the Emerald Coast this season, be sure to check out www.artpartypensacola.com. And that's the way the creatives shine. This is Seth Patterson reporting for Argo News.
And if you're into art, then you have to love music and theater, right?
Well,
An upcoming UWF musical theater show will be telling the story of a forgotten legend. Argo News reporter Max Natsity has more on the story.
Have you ever heard of Floyd Collins, the caver from the 1920s?
On the surface, it's about a man, and he's a professional caver who goes down to explore a cavern, and he gets trapped. And so that's what it's about on the surface, but there's a lot of other things at play in the story. It's really about how the community and his family are affected by this tragedy, and it's a race against time, really, to a certain degree. And there's also a huge component of the story that's about the media, and about the media frenzy that ensued. And it really was the first of its kind, the sort of media craze. Reporters from all over the country came and profited, really, on this man's tragedy. So there's a lot of different levels in the story. This show deals with a lot of very human issues, a lot of very human questions that are unanswerable, many of them. What happens after this life is over? What happens after a loved one passes away? There are a lot of big questions that are not answered, but they're struggled with, and I think that those are questions that everybody can relate to. And I think that relating happens largely on an emotional level. So I'm hoping that the audience will be affected.
Floyd Collins promises to be an enthralling show that will serve the tragic tale justice while entertaining its viewers. I'm Max Natsity, reporting for Argo News.
Clock has a solution for you.
You may have heard of comedians like Jeff Foxworthy or Chris Rock, but have you heard of Bubs Harris? He's a comedian taking Pensacola by storm.
I've been doing comedy since 2009, and what I've learned over the years is just stage presence and running over your material in your head over and over and over and over again every single day, every single minute until you get it right, and then take it to the stage as much as possible. If I could say what the best show I've ever done was, it was opening for Brian Posehn here in Pensacola, and that was super cool. It was 2 shows, about 400 something people each one, and that was pretty rad. I enjoyed that a whole lot. It's terrifying. It's terrifying. When you first start, comedy is horrifying. I mean, you get so nervous, you feel like you could puke. After you do it for a couple years, it's really nothing to it. You pretty much have in your head what you're going to do. You know how long you're going to talk, and what you need to say. You know how to read crowds after a while. I mean, you're going to bomb sometimes. Sometimes you're going to kill, and that's the nature of the beast. It's a very, very beautiful thing. Best way to deal with people interrupting or heckling a show, I'd say, is just ask them politely, remind them that they're at a comedy show, or if you can use some quick wit and throw a couple zingers at them, that's cool. But I don't condone the cussing out and calling names of people that are at the comedy show. Sure, they may not have the proper etiquette, but I don't think that they should be lambasted by people. People don't know that there's local comedy here. I mean, no matter how many open mics a week, now we have 3. We have 2 open mics. We have Tuesday nights here at Big Easy Tavern. We have Thursday nights at Shooters and Cordova Lanes. And then on Friday nights here at Big Easy Tavern, we have feature shows. And that's cool. That's 3 nights a week for comedy in Pensacola. But a lot of people don't know that. And as long as people keep supporting it and spreading the word, I don't think I could hope for much more.
You don't have to go to LA, New York, or Chicago to see a great comedy scene. It's available right here in Pensacola for all to see. For Argo News, I'm Graham Clark.
Pensacola has many hidden treasures. Here to tell us more about one of them, Argo News reporter Nicole Campbell.
Ever wonder where to find fashion in Pensacola?
Okay, we normally shop the Atlanta market, and sometimes we do go to New York, but mostly Atlanta. We probably attend like five markets a year. Well, we try to stay like really resort casual and keep it kind of beach chic, if you will. For tourists, it's things they can use while they're here, but there's also things that'll work when they go back home as well. Lily Pulitzer is one of our big vendors, and some of our other vendors that we do really well with is Trina Turk. We sell Ella Moss and Splendid. We have AG Denim, 7 Jeans, and we carry Free People, which is kind of bohemian and chic. And then we do carry men's clothes. We have Robert Graham. We do Vineyard Vines, which is a huge vendor for men and ladies. We do Peter Millar, which is a little more refined. For me, I have this store. I also help with Salty Beach, and I also help with Portofino Island Resort. I help with the spa retail and with the market, which is kind of just like more of a hotel type gift shop. Like most college students, I had a couple of majors before I got to marketing, is what I majored in. And I went into a job that was a buying position for a department store right out of college, and I was lucky enough to move to Destin, and I actually found a job. I worked for Sandestin Resort for many years. I think we have a great selection. I think we've got really fun, comfortable, casual clothes, and I think there's probably a ton of people in the general Pensacola and Gulf Breeze area that don't even know the stores here or know that we exist, or would imagine that we have the selection that we have.
So come on out to the boardwalk and check out Envy for yourself. I'm Nicole Campbell reporting for Argo News.
Have the 2014 Winter Olympics inspired you to start a new sport? Reporter Corinne Williams has an option for you.
Do you enjoy watching hockey and would like to be in a league of your own?
We play for the ECIHL. It's an Emerald Coast Ice Hockey League. It was founded a few years ago. I really got into it 4 or 5 years ago, kind of out of high school. Starting out, you have to be 18 years old, and then the next criteria is you have to have the USA hockey membership. ECIHL.com, and that'll redirect you to a home team sports website. We have 2 leagues, a B league, which is a little bit more top level, and a C league. We revolve kind of around the Ice Flyers schedule and then the junior Ice Flyers. So we have a lot of late night games. Fees regulate kind of year to year. The first fee that you have to have is a USAA or USA hockey membership, and that runs between $30 and $40 for the whole year. And then per season, it ranges depending on if you're a goalie or not, or which league you play in. It can run from anywhere from $200 up to $260 for each season. So there's 2 seasons a year. So roughly about $400, $450 for the whole year. We play in a league where there's 2 seasons. We usually start around October, and that runs through December. And then the next one is our spring schedule, which runs from January through April. And that gives us about as much ice time as any other league would throughout the season. It does cost a little bit more playing in the South. And coming to our games are free. We don't have any tickets. There's plenty of space because we play in the Civic Center, which the Ice Pilots do, or the Ice Flyers, I'm sorry. And so anybody can come and watch. We have a lot of family members that come, girlfriends, and children that come to watch.
Visit ecihl.com to sign up today. I'm Corinne Williams, reporting for Argo News.
If you're a beginner at hockey, I would bet that you would be interested in finding a chiropractor after your first game. Argo News reporter Amanda Diamond has some info for you.
If you're suffering with back pain and neck pain, why not try a chiropractor's office?
This business is a spinal center clinic. We have 2 locations. One is on 2921 West Michigan Avenue. Our other location is located at 24 East 9 Mile Road. We have 2 doctors at each location, all which are licensed as licensed chiropractors. We specialize in the musculoskeletal system, which consists of the neck, the upper back, your low back, any kind of neck pain that you have, headaches, sciatic problems, just anything that has to do with the spine itself. Our treatment consists of electrical stimulation, cryotherapy, massage therapy, therapeutic activities, just anything to get your range of motion back in the spine, to get you pain-free, and to get you back to where you can do your activities of daily living. Our patients consist of auto injuries and also just the everyday person that may wake up in the morning and they have a backache or they bent over wrong. So really just anybody. And anybody that has any kind of neck pain or back pain. Patient protocol, it's basically, it depends on the doctor, of course, and it depends on the injury. If you're in an auto accident, they may see you 3 times a week for 6 weeks. Or if you're doing good, they may cut the treatment in half. It just depends on how well you do. We've have a good success rate as far as getting people better. We do offer massage 2 days a week. We are starting a rehab program, and that will be included in some of the treatment protocols for the patient. We don't just do the therapies. We want to get the patient stronger and feeling better. So that's something that we're going to implement pretty soon. The ultimate goal here at the Spinal Center is to get you pain-free and stronger, get your range of motions better. And as you know, our motto here at the Spinal Center is, we got your back.
If you're suffering with a neck pain or back pain, check out the Spinal Center. I'm Amanda Diamond with Argo News.
And that wraps up our broadcast for this week.
I'm Jordan Grinnell.
And I'm Najee Moye.
Thanks for watching Argo News. See you next week.